Hey guys, this is Smithy. Welcome to my channel. Today's video is so very special. It's a collaboration video and I'm doing my collab with Victoria, my friend here on YouTube. If you've not watched her, she does it in a different language. At this point of time, I don't even know which language because I see it in English. But if you like my channel, if you love eyeshadow palettes, I feel like she'll give you more options. She does a lot of like indie makeup as well as higher end makeup. I absolutely love her options because I feel like we're pretty much in the same interest level. Like when it comes to indie shadows, we both like neutral but interesting neutrals. So if you guys want to check out her video, she's also going to do top 10 palettes for her for this year so far, because year is not over and the releases do not stop ever. So if you guys want to see my top 10 palettes, this is not ranking by any means. I'm just gonna say top 10 palettes for this year so far. So if you're ready, please keep on watching. Again, in no particular order, there are some palettes that came in early in the year, and there are some palettes that came in like 2 weeks but still made it to this list, and that's for a reason. I love the color story, I love the formula so very much, and I'll definitely tell you all about it. So let's begin. The first eyeshadow palette that I want to talk about comes from Glaminatrix Cosmetics, and this is the Timeless Tones palette. It is such a beautiful color story, especially if you are a cool tone wearer. I feel like these are interesting neutrals but cool tones. When I think of cool tones, earlier we used to get a lot of grays. If you're seeing things moving, that's because my fan is moving and it was getting so hot in here. That's why things are moving. By the way, that's a skeleton. Wait, look at that. Can you see that? But that's okay. But let's move on with the video. This color story, I feel like it's so pretty and the shimmers are truly exquisite. Like these shimmers, they're like very iridescent multi-chromey shimmers, and these they're toppery. There's some gorgeous formulas that are included in it. Like, let me show you. I'm not going to swatch everything, but this is worth so that just so that you know like what is my taste. Like, I don't like a very textured shimmer on my eye, but I love dimension, I love shifts, I love impact, and this gives me all of it. I'm very impressed with this Glaminatrix palette release. Truly speaking, Glaminatrix is one of my favorite indie brands, and you will not go wrong with any of the release that comes out. If you like a color story, I'm sure you're gonna love it. Like, I was going back and forth between this, the Nearly Naturals, the Tones of Dirt. There are so many palettes that were released and they absolutely excel in it. But if I see me as a person, the color stories that I like, I feel like this definitely screams in that top 10 for sure. So Timeless Tones. If I have a code with any of these, I will tell it down in the description box below for you guys, so just keep your eyes out on it. The next palette came very early on in the year, but it has stayed in my heart for such a long time, and it comes from Adept Cosmetics, and this is the revamped remastered Minka palette. You know how much I love my mauves, my purpley tones, and my neutrals, and this was screaming my name. I feel like I'm so pleased with this palette, so pleased. I feel like I can get so many variety of looks with the shimmers. I love the mattes, the shimmers that Adept Cosmetics does, but I also need a help from you. I know they released the Emo palette, the EBE palette, now RH Null palette. If you have any of those palettes, and if you know my color story, the color stories that I like, I want a recommendation from you guys. Which one is your absolute favorite? Because when I look at those palettes, they all scream like similar color story, but I don't know which one to get. I'm leaning a little bit more towards emo just because it gives me more variety. It is more muted down and it gives me like the shimmers that I would wear. EB was like too loud for me and too green leaning. Also, if you don't know, I'm not a big green person, but there are green options in this collection, okay? So stay tuned. It has to be wearable greens. That's the whole point. But all in all, talking about this palette, absolutely amazing. It gives a variety of shimmers again. Like, you will get impactful shimmers but also like toppery shimmers. So let me give you two examples. Like, this is like an impactful, very top shimmer, like screaming at you, and this is more like a toppery shimmer. But look at it, like the impact is absolutely there. So you can definitely go for like a night out glam eye look, but also go everyday neutral, I absolutely love it. Okay, absolutely love it. Those mattes were also calling out to me, so that was like no questions asked. I had the original Minka palette and I repurchased this and I do not regret it one bit. Okay, let's move on. The next palette comes from Blend Bunny Cosmetics, and when this was released, I feel like, I'm not gonna lie, this is very favorite. If you love colors, you are absolutely gonna love it, and I definitely had to mention this because this is one of the most used palette in my collection this year, because I truly combined this with other palettes to give me more of a colorful look, and Blend Bunny does a lot of colorful palettes, and I'm talking about Beaute Below palette. This palette, it's now in the original format just so that I could show it to you how it looks. So this is exactly how it looks. It has a lot of deeper mattes, and that's what I love about this palette. I feel like they never shy away in giving us variety of deeper options. Generally, a lot of indie brands do give us like 1 or 2 deeper matte options, and they give us a lot of like lighter options. They did not shy away in deeper options, but saying that, I'm definitely missing a lighter shimmer, like an iridescent topper, something to combine with this palette, but I'm also missing a few lighter mattes. So I definitely mix and match, because it's a magnetic palette. I do mix and match this palette with some lighter matte and lighter shimmer options, just because I can get rid of one of these like dark gray, dark black shadow. Just one is enough. Similarly here, I can get rid of one of them and then I can just replace it with the other things that I really like. I love this palette. The formula of Blend Bunny mattes, I absolutely love and adore, so I definitely had to talk about this. So that's my third option. Talking about the fourth option, we have Ensley Rain Cosmetics. Now, I have 2 palettes in front of me. I'm going to consider this same. It is truly going to depend on what color story you like, okay? I have Wolf Moon palette as well as Whispering Woods palette. Knowing me, I dip into Wolf Moon a lot because it's more of a neutral palette. It has those mauvey tones, the burgundy tones, and the shimmers are absolutely breathtaking. I definitely had to talk about this. Let me just swatch a few shimmers just so that you know. Like, when I even started the video, I told you I love a good cool tone, but also like shimmers that are not textural, and these are the shades that give me variety, shiftiness, everything in this small little concise palette. Again, this is a magnetic palette, so I absolutely love that option also. I can mix and match and create some variety of looks with these palettes. But again, if you're buying this palette as it is going to give you very neutral cool tone looks, but the shimmers are the star of the show. Not saying I love the mattes in this palette, like even though these are like lighter tones, this shows up as a muted down green shade on me, which I absolutely love. Everything shows up on my skin tone and I love it. But if you are a green lover, if you love greens, oh my gosh, Whispering Woods is amazing. Like, it has several tones of greens. I specifically want to shout out the shimmers. There are some amazing shimmers in this palette. Like this, all the shimmers are absolutely beautiful and wonderful. The only thing about me and this palette is I'm not a big green person, so this goes out of question, this goes out of question, even these go out of question, but rest everything I absolutely love. Not saying nothing performs badly, but if you love this color story, you're not going to be disappointed. I also love the artwork of this palette too. Really pretty. So I definitely wanted to shout out Whispering Woods too. Now let's talk about a muted down, obviously we are talking about cold tone color story so far because I love that. A muted down palette which is perfect for winter, but I wear it all around, and that comes from Simply Posh Cosmetics, and this is the Snow Angel palette. When I see this palette, I'm definitely thinking that I would have loved if there were more deeper mattes and less of these pastel tones, but when I put it on my eyes, I would have never guessed by just looking at this palette that this is going to be on my top 10 list because of those pastel tones, and I'm not a big pastel person, okay? Let me make it very clear. But when I make this wear on my eyes, there's something so very special about this palette, and the duochromes just gives a twinkling magic. Love this color story. I really love. You will definitely get just like a mid-tone look on your eyes, so it's not going to be like deep dramatic. It's going to be very angelic kind of a look. I really love this palette, okay? if you love like toppery shimmer, like this is not this palette, but it is another Simply Posh Cosmetics palette, which is that berry palette. What is that called? Cherry palette. Sorry, cherry palette. I was like, what is it called? Cherry palette. And I did record this look in the 3 palettes 3 looks video, so it's coming very soon. But can you see like that twinkling effect that is coming on your eyes? That's what Simply Posh Cosmetics gives me, and I love that for office looks, for like conferences, for anything like more elegant looking looks. This comes in super handy. Again, they make like magnetic palettes, which I absolutely love. So Simply Posh Cosmetics Snow Angel palette is right up my alley. I would say even that cherry palette, what is that called? Black cherry? Yeah, black cherry palette. This is the one that I was using. It is so up my alley. I just did not include this just because it's more like one tone note, and I wanted to give you more options, so that's why I didn't make it to my top 10 list. But I use it all the time, and you can see this is like my color story. I feel very confident in these tones, so I definitely just wanted to shout out. Okay, now let's talk about a neutral palette. You'll be like, Smithy, what are you talking about? You're talking about neutral palettes. No. If you like a brown neutral color story, I feel like it's not interesting enough, and this is the only palette that is high end in my whole collection that I'm going to talk about. It is a high-end palette, it is a pricey palette, but I use it all the time. So I definitely had to shout out the Natasha Denona Dramatic palette. Now mine looks a little mismatched because I did have mismatched the shade a little bit, and this is how my palette looks. I absolutely love the way how this palette looks because it's a dramatic palette. Again, it's going to be absolutely amazing if you are deeper than my skin tone. I feel like for my skin tone also, I can absolutely make dramatic palette work. If you are more into warmer tone, yummy, rich browns and caramel tones, you're absolutely gonna love it. And majority of these shades are from the dramatic palette. Obviously, I would not say it if it is not. So all these shades are from dramatic palette. These are from dramatic palette. This is from dramatic palette. Majority of the shimmers are also from dramatic palette, but there are a lighter shimmers, a few shimmers that are there from the golden palette, from the bloom palette, and from I Need a Warm palette. And this, I just wanted a couple more like lighter mattes just to complete this palette. But saying that, love the palette size as well as the way it blends, and it looks so elegant on the eyes. I had to shout out Natasha Denona Dramatic palette. I absolutely love this palette, and I wear it to office so much that it would be a crime not to mention it. Okay, so that's why I am mentioning Dramatic palette from Natasha Denona. Now let's talk about a Nomad palette next. For you green lovers, I have a green palette for you. I have fallen in love with this palette. Like the looks that come out, again, I'm not a big blue green person, that's not me. The looks that come out of this palette, because it's so muted down, so wearable, it just looks so elegant on the eyes. I've worn it to office so many times, which is giving a one more check mark in my whole list. I'm talking about Pacific Northwest palette from Nomad Cosmetics. This palette has blew me away. The options are absolutely beautiful. You can actually cut down this palette into 6-pan sections, like this blue palette, this green palette, this neutral tone palette, but you can also mix and match and create some amazing looks. I've done like a 3 looks with this palette in the initial video. I've also done like a 3 palettes 3 looks video using this palette just to give you more options with this palette. But the choices are endless with this. The shimmers are so twinkly. There are some smoother multichromes, but there are also some beautiful ethereal topper-like shimmers, which just makes this palette even more special. I really love this whole color story. I really never thought that a green palette would make my top 10 list, but this definitely deserves every bit of the spot in that list. The packaging, I cannot get over. This is the best Nomad packaging that I have had in my whole collection, and I have a lot of Nomad palettes in my collection. It's like a canvas painting. So pretty. It's textural. It is so eye-pleasing. I do not have any complaints about this palette. This palette is beautiful. Okay, next let's talk about Krypton Cosmetics. Now, you know I love Krypton Cosmetics with my whole heart, and if I had to pick a palette that I wear a lot, it is gonna be the Seraph palette from Krypton Cosmetics. I know you guys, it is a red palette, yes, but there are only 3 reds in this collection, which out of which the whole palette, I feel like the only shade that I would not gravitate towards is this bright red, but rest everything, just hide that red, okay? Even if you don't want to like see these two, look how neutral it is. It is so up my alley, I cannot even tell you. Again, Krypton Cosmetics is a magnetic pan eyeshadow palette, and this is so pretty. If you love pinks, mauves, grays, this palette is stunning. I'm definitely missing a brown, like a warmer chocolatey tone brown in this palette, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to just remove this and get a chocolatey brown in this whole mix, and maybe a tan. I feel like this is going to come so handy. Like, I feel this is beautiful, breathtakingly beautiful. Like, the shifts and the shine that this palette has is truly beautiful. Let me swatch Jealous to you as well as this Disorder shade. It's so pretty. It is just amazing. I have always loved Krypton Cosmetics formula. Like, look at that. This is such a yummy neutral shade, you guys. And look at that multi-chrome. They just deliver it when it comes to eyeshadow. And the mattes, I'm not just raving about the shimmers, but the mattes are buildable, blendable. It is so effortless on the eyes. There is absolutely no look out of that palette that I've not loved on me. I love it. It would be a crime not to mention it in the top 10 palettes so far. So this is definitely making it to my top 10. But I had so many options in Krypton Cosmetics again. It just needs to be your color story that you love. Secret Garden 1, Secret Garden 2, Sunset Symphony. Was it Sunset Symphony or Summer Symphony? You know, that symphony palette that is so colorful. Like, if you're a color wearer, you're gonna love it. Absolutely love it. Okay, let's talk about Bella Beaute Bar. Bella Beaute Bar came out with this palette and knocked my socks off. Generally, Bella Beaute Bar creates a lot of colorful palettes, which I am like rethinking. Do I need that pastel palette? Do I need like this colorful palette? Am I gonna wear it over and over again? Because I don't get PR from Bella Beaute Bar, but I love their formula. But when this palette was released, I was like, yes, and yes, give it to me. I am not going to regret this palette. And this is Coalescence palette with Nupur from Bella Beaute Bar. And this palette has just amazing tones. Again, a very, I would say, a very neutral palette. I love the purples. The purples are there. The burgundies are there. Even the greens in this palette, they're so muted down. I love these like grayed out greens. They just create some beautiful looks. I love this palette. I absolutely love the shimmers in this palette. The only complaint that I have is this dissonance shade. It's a little bit more emollient for me. It just like creases a bit on me because I do have creasy eyelid. And those emollient waxier formula definitely creases on me. Not much. So I definitely make sure that I'm smoothing out the shimmer and then applying it on my eyes. But otherwise, this palette is perfect. Like, I love this palette so very much. I have no complaints. This is absolutely amazing. Would highly recommend it. There's some beautiful formula. Let me swatch Agni. Let me swatch Balance. It is so pretty. Like, I was in awe when I swatched this palette. I was like, what? This is so perfect. Like, look at that. That's more of a top rear shadow, and this is so much more impact. But look at those shades. It is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Would highly recommend that. And last, certainly not the least, this might be the newest palette in the whole collection that I'm talking about. But from the time I've applied it on my eyes and I've created several looks using this palette, I can without a doubt say that this is going to be in my top 10 palettes. For sure. And I'm talking about Unearthly Cosmetics Gothic Romance palette. I was not that impressed when I saw the initial reveal of this palette. One, it lacks shimmers, okay? I need more shimmers, Unearthly Cosmetics. I love your shimmers. I need more shimmers. But whatever is there in the mattes are kiss worthy. So pretty, so amazing. I cannot tell you how beautiful it is. Okay, wait. This is not the shadow from this palette. Again, it's a magnetic palette, so you can mix and match. But there was a matte white shadow which I did replace for like an iridescent purple to an orange shifting shadow, which I thought it'll go so beautiful with this palette. So that's an additional shimmer that is there. But otherwise, everything else is from this palette and it is just dead gorgeous. I absolutely love everything about this palette. It is just amazing color story. I have no complaints. There's no two mattes that perform similarly, except that matte white. I feel like I can get rid of the matte white when there is a beige in the palette, and there is like a peach as well as a beige in the palette. So I feel like I personally, for my skin tone, I can get rid of that matte white. That's why I replaced it with a shimmer shadow. But otherwise, this palette is perfect. I've done 3 looks with this palette on my channel. Some of my most favorite looks. I love this palette with my whole heart, and I wear it to office all the time. Like these are like, even though there's greens, it's muted down olivey greens, which I love. There's warm tones here, there's cool tones here, there's a pink look that you can do, there's a mauvey look that you can do, there's a green look, there's a purple look. Obviously you can just go row by row, but you can mix and match, and these shimmers are toppery, very elegant looking shimmers. It's just so pretty. These shimmers that they selected, I know it's just a handful, but they pack a punch on the eyes. They're smooth, they're dimensional. Like, look at that. They're just so pretty. So pretty, and I could not recommend this. Okay, this is such a beautiful palette. I would 100% recommend this palette to you guys. If you love the color story, I don't think you will be disappointed with this palette one bit. I absolutely love it. And if you're wondering which shadows would fit into it, I would say the Blend Bunny Cosmetics palette shadows would fit into it. The Ensley Rain palettes shimmers would fit into it. They're just beautiful, absolutely stunning. Okay, 100% would recommend it. But that's all for today. These are the top 10 palettes so far for 2025 that I did want to shout out for you guys. Do not forget to watch Victoria's video, because I cannot wait to watch and see what are her recommendations. I am pretty sure the Coalescence palette is going to be in her top 10 palettes for sure. Not sure about the rest of the palettes, because she is definitely going to shout out some of the higher end palettes, because she does a lot of those palettes. So head out to her channel. But that's all for today. I really hope that this video was helpful for you guys to just pick and choose which palettes are going to be suitable for you and your collection. But that's all for today. If you did like my video, you know what to do. Do give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and ring the notification bell so that you're notified every time that I post next. I generally upload 3 videos every single week, every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays at 9 AM Eastern Standard Time. But until next time, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.